They say love makes you do crazy things. They never say what kind of crazy. Love is not always soft. Sometimes it is a blade pressed against the throat, a whisper of steel, a promise of silence. Saurabh came back when he shouldn't have. He was supposed to be away, far away. His return complicated things. He smiled at me when he entered the house, his suitcase still rolling across the floor. "Surprise," he said. "I came early. Missed you too much." My lips stretched into a smile, but my heart had stopped. Sahil was in the next room, hidden behind the bedroom door. If Saurabh had arrived even 15 minutes later, he would have found us together, tangled in the kind of passion that makes men go mad. That night, I served him dinner. My hands trembled as I poured the wine, but he didn't notice. He was happy, rambling about London, about the cold, about how he wanted to take me there next time. But the moment his lips touched the glass, I knew. The drug worked fast. His words slurred. His hand dropped the fork. He tried to stand, but his knees buckled. I should have felt sorry. I should have at least looked away as Sahil stepped forward, knife glinting under the kitchen light. But I didn't. The first stab was quick. A gasp escaped Saurabh's lips, his eyes wide with betrayal. I watched as he clutched his side, crimson blooming through his shirt. He reached for me, his mouth open, but no words came out. Sahil stabbed him again, and again, until there was nothing left in his eyes but glassy emptiness. We stood over his body, panting, shaking. The room smelled of blood, warm and metallic. It coated my hands, my arms. I wiped them on my dress, but the stains only spread. "What do we do now?" I whispered. Sahil's breath was ragged. He wiped the knife on his sleeve. "We finish it." I don't remember much of what happened next. Not clearly. I remember the sound of the hacksaw, the way it groaned as it tore through bone. I remember the weight of his limbs as we carried them one by one, stuffing them into the drum. The cement was cold, thick. We poured it over the pieces, sealing him inside. By morning, he was gone. No trace of him left except the smell. The house smelled wrong. No matter how much I scrubbed the floor, no matter how many windows I opened, the scent of something rotten clung to the air. Days passed, then a week. People started asking questions. His friends, his family. My phone buzzed with missed calls. "Tell them he left," Sahil said. "Tell them he walked out on you." And I did. I played the part of the abandoned wife perfectly. Tears when I needed them. Silence when it mattered. But the smell never left. It followed me in my sleep. It seeped into my skin. And at night, I heard things. It started with soft thuds. Rhythmic, coming from the drum. Sahil said it was in my head. "It's just your nerves, baby. It's over. He's gone." But I knew better. The nights grew longer. The whispers started. My name, spoken in a voice I knew too well. "Muskan." I would wake up gasping, drenched in sweat. I told Sahil, but he just laughed, pulling me close. "You're overthinking. We won. Won." As if this were a game. As if the thing in the drum wasn't still breathing. Still waiting. Then tonight, the knocking started. Loud, insistent. The walls rattled. The air grew thick, charged with something unnatural. I turned to Sahil. "Do you hear that?" He scoffed, but then his smile wavered. Because he did. He heard it too. We stared at the drum. It moved, just slightly. The lid shifted. A low, wet sound slithered through the room, like something crawling through cement. A knock at the door startled us both. "Miss Rastogi?" "Open the door, please." A police officer. Sahil's face paled. "Say nothing." He whispered, Act normal." I nodded, forcing a breath into my lungs. My hand shook as I reached for the door, pulling it open. The officer peered inside, his nose twitching. "That smell," he started, stepping in. And then, behind me, the drum shuddered violently. A dull, hollow thump echoed through the apartment. My body froze. The officer's eyes narrowed. "Ma'am, what was that?" I turned my head slowly. My breath hitched. The drum was moving. The lid, it slid open. A pale, bloodied hand emerged, fingers bending unnaturally. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't scream. And then I saw him. Saurabh's face, rising from the drum. His skin cracked, his eyes black voids of nothingness. He grinned. "Did you miss me, darling?" I stumbled backward, my throat dry. Sahil was frozen beside me, his face drained of all color. The officer fumbled for his gun, but he was too slow. The air turned ice cold. The lights flickered. The room tilted. Then Saurabh moved. His body, what was left of it, crawled out of the drum, his fingers gripping the floor, pulling himself forward in jerking, unnatural motions. His mouth twisted, lips stretching wider than humanly possible. "You thought cement could hold me? You thought I wouldn't hear you whispering, laughing, sleeping in our bed?" I gasped, shaking my head. No, this isn't real. This isn't..." He laughed, a sound that echoed through my bones, through the very walls of the apartment. The officer finally fired. The gunshot cracked the air, but Saurabh didn't stop. He didn't bleed. He reached for Sahil first. Sahil screamed. I saw his skin gray, his veins turn black as Saurabh's fingers pressed into his face. His body convulsed, his lips forming silent pleas before his breath stopped altogether. Sahil's body collapsed, eyes wide, mouth agape in an eternal scream. And then, he turned to me. "You were my wife, Muskan, my love, my everything, and you threw me away like garbage." I backed away, my vision swimming. The officer ran, slamming the door behind him. I was alone with him. "Please," I whispered. He smiled. "Shh, it's my turn now." And then the darkness swallowed me whole.